Yeah.
And welcome to the Good Old Days, our program focusing on the history of Raynham. I'm Pat Riley, and our host is retired Selectman Don McKinnon.
That's true.
And we're back here again for another episode of the Good Old Days.
Yes, we always have a good time,
We
Pat.
do, we
Oh,
do.
Because we picked the right guest.
That's
And
right.
the guest carries us, so Belcher, start.
Belcher Stanley is our guest today. Welcome, Belcher.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Yeah.
Tell us about now, are you originally from this area, Belcher?
I was born in East Taunton
All right.
in an old schoolhouse.
Really?
Yes, it used to be called the Cotley Schoolhouse, and it's still there on County Street, and people live in it still.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, and I was, I was born in the house in January 1942. So, and from there I went to what used to be the County Street School,
Okay.
8 grades, 2 grades in a room.
Yeah, I did that, 2
Yeah.
grades in a row. Did you ever do that, Pat?
No.
No.
Yeah. Wonderful teachers, wonderful principals. From there I went on to Taunton High School,
Okay.
What we call the old Taunton High
the old Taunton High School. Yes,
Where school he went to is now Charlie Thayer's office.
yes,
Called the
that's
Thayer
true.
Professional Building.
Yeah.
Okay.
Graduated from there in 1960, magna cum laude,
1960.
1960, yeah. Went on to Bentley College. Graduated Bentley College 1964. Then
Specializing in business?
I specialized in accounting.
Accounting, okay.
And I did my college nights. As I was during that time, I was employed by the Taunton Savings Bank, which used to be on Court Street. I was employed for them for like 17, 18 years.
Wow.
I was in line for the #1 spot there, but banking industry became in turmoil, and all kind of mergers were happening back in the mid-'70s, and of course I was left out in the cold.
Some of those banks closed. Did that bank close?
It merged. It kept merging and merging and merging. Might as well say it closed.
So
but,
now-
Belcher, did you always think you would go into like the accounting field? Was that always your kind of, what you liked, enjoyed?
Yes. Matter of fact, in high
Numbers.
school, I took the commercial course and all that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and your brother now, is that the family? That was
No,
the
I
family?
have 2 sisters also.
sisters,
Yeah.
But your brother, Belcher and I were talking coming up here, and I always see those big trucks going by. That's big business, isn't it, Belcher?
Oh, it is.
So his brother has a big business. And was he commercially a student also, commercial student?
No.
No.
Matter of fact, he went as far as 8th grade, really. And then he self-educated himself, and became...
Well, ever seen his trucks go by?
Yes.
They're rather large. What do they do, Belcher, though?
They do asphalt paving of driveways, parking lots, and roads.
And it's major. I mean, we're not
major,
talking about
right.
Willie Lump Lump coming
No.
over and do your driveway.
No.
This is big business.
Yeah. And he's been in business for about 30 years, really. He lives on King Philip Street.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
On King Philip in Raynham?
yes.
No. Oh.
Yeah. Right in front of the North Water District pumping station there.
That goes the other side of Route 138.
The other one, yes.
Oh, okay, that's why I can't picture it. But
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't
Yeah.
realize they were there.
Yeah.
Well, there, what's the other business that's right there also? There's another one that's, well, anyway, it's in back of Market Basket and all. I can't think of the name up here. But anyway, that's
Sure.
not
Yeah.
here nor there.
Right.
You think, Belcher? How do I get off on this subject?
Right.
But Belcher went to work for the town.
Yeah, at what point, Belcher? Was that after your banking?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. After the banking, I went into real estate, and the position, the accounting position for the town was always a part-time thing.
Yeah.
And when I took it over, be frank with you, I didn't know a thing about municipal accounting.
I was going to ask
Not
you about
one
the
thing.
difference, because every time we talked to a person that was in business on the finance committee, like John Cockram, who was an investigator of banks and all, he had a very high rank. But when he went into municipal, he said it was like another world.
Oh, well,
Dwayne Wheeler.
Yeah.
the fellow that was on the finance committee for years, what was his name?
it Dwayne?
Older man.
Was it Dwayne Wheeler?
Dwayne Wheeler, yes. I educated him
As to
as to how
it should-
municipal accounting worked.
Yeah.
And he
So
couldn't
how did
believe
you
it.
know? How did you learn then?
I learned by hit or miss,
Okay.
and also the state. There's an
Now, Arnold
association.
Ziegler, Belcher, we used to always say, the untimely death of Arnold Ziegler. Was it his demise that you came in after?
No,
He was a clerk.
Helen Lounsbury and Mrs. Day and Marsha Lounsbury, they were doing it
Okay.
just before me.
Okay. And that would have been, I thought you were, I'm going to say 78, 70, in around there.
Late 70s,
Yeah,
yes.
late 70s,
Yeah.
78, 79.
Right, right.
And suddenly, voila.
Yeah, here we go, you know. And at the time, this was at the beginning of the town entering into the sewer situation.
Right.
And at the time, the town had first gone, that was the first time that ever, I think, gone out to bond to finance the first phase of the sewer situation.
Right.
And-
Debt exclusion.
Debt exclusion, yes. And really none of us knew how to account for that, and well, previous to me. And when I came in, there was a big problem. The treasurer's books and the accounting books were off around $300,000.
And those days,
Yep, that was a lot of
you
money.
were talking
Sure,
millions.
Yes,
sure.
yes, yeah.
Still is.
Yeah, it is. 300 is still a lot.
So they hired an auditing firm, Coopers and Lybrand at the time.
They're still about, I think.
They're still about,
Sure.
Now,
yeah.
were you a selectman at that time or that before?
Oh, no, I
You
was
were already
selectman at the time.
selectman
I
when
went
he
in
was appointed.
73.
And it was an appointed position.
Right, yes. And it
Voted
was,
for Belcher.
yes.
You voted for Belcher, okay.
And it wasn't the town accountant at the time,
Okay.
it was the accounting officer.
Oh, okay.
And there was different duties and different laws that applied to both situations.
Right.
So, town accountant is a strong position. Accounting officer is just like a bookkeeper position, really.
Yeah.
So we went on to that, and we had Coopers and Lybrand come in and examine all the books. And then what it was just the way that the accountant was accounting for it and the treasurer was accounting for it. They couldn't pull it together. And finally, with the auditors, they did it for
Was
us.
Dick Manning treasurer at
Dick
that
Manning
time?
was the treasurer at the time, yes.
And Dick was not, no disrespect,
Yeah.
but he was not an accountant.
No, he wasn't, no.
We found that out.
That's right, yeah, yeah.
That's
But
for another night.
he tried hard. you
Good
know,
guy.
He really did,
Oh,
yes.
Manning, nice
Yes,
guy.
yeah.
But not an accountant.
No, and
And he
Then-
was treasurer.
he was
You were
treasurer.
the accountant and he
Yes,
was the treasurer.
yeah.
Oh, God.
And at that time, we had to report quarterly to the state. We had to reconcile the accountant's books with the treasurer's books and send a report into the state that we agreed. And if it wasn't in timely, they would remove your bond. The state would remove your
Really?
bond, and you were in tough shape,
Yes,
at the
yeah.
time.
We had, when Dick Manning was somewhat in charge, before you came, I believe, there was some money coming from the federal government. And,
Yes,
and it was held up.
yep, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
And a young lady named Peggy Heckler. And
Yeah.
she ran for governor's counselor. She said, and this is a great line, put a heckler in the council.
Yeah.
Then she became a rep, and she was a good rep.
Yes,
by the
she
way.
was, yes.
She ran against
Congressman.
Congressman,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But she ran against Barney Frank, who was like an immovable object. Boom.
Yeah.
Bernie came in and he wiped her right
Right.
out. She later became the ambassador to Ireland.
Yes, yep.
Nice lady.
Yes.
But she went to Washington, D.C., and what
Yes.
Manning had done, no
Right.
disrespect, but
Right.
wasn't working out.
Right.
And we says, Peggy, you got to do this. And she stomped in and yelled and screamed at them. And they sent us the money. They didn't know why. They just wanted
Right.
to have her stop yelling at
It
us.
was-
So she was a good rep,
It was called
Peggy Heckler.
It was called public law something. There was a number attached to it, and that was that money that you were talking about.
But
Yeah.
see, she was also, the name Heckler is cute, but she was really Irish bad.
Yeah.
She wasn't O'Reilly, but she was like an O'Sullivan or
right,
something.
right.
She was really Irish, and boy, when she got on your case. But you were glad she was there at the time,
Oh yes. Yep.
because she opened up the thing.
Yes.
So you moved in the middle of a storm.
Yes. Oh yes. Yep.
Right.
I mean, and Helen Lounsbury and Mrs. Day. I can't remember her first name.
No, but I say Beatrice, but maybe that's
Yeah, it
wrong.
could be.
But anyway,
And-
Mrs.
and
Day, she owned the
Marsha.
property right next to the school.
Yes. And Marsha Lounsbury at the time,
Yeah.
she taught me how to prepare a bills payable warrant. I didn't know how to do it, you know.
Isn't that something,
and
though,
she
huh?
taught me how to do that.
And Marcia's still active. She's town
She's
clerk.
town
I was
clerk
with her
now.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yes.
She's on the North School Committee, so she's
Yeah.
still around.
Yep.
She's still a young lady.
Yes, yes,
doesn't
yeah.
grow old.
Right. And it's-
So that was, but was, Belcher, correct me now, because here, now we're getting into it. Were you considered part-time or full-time?
part-time for the longest, all the time that I was
Yeah,
there, I was
okay.
part-time.
Part-time.
Yes. Yeah.
And at that time, what did you go back to be self-employed accountant?
Yes.
At
yeah.
that time,
At
so
that
do
time.
other books.
Right. Yeah. I had my own business and I
Yeah,
did that.
setting
Yeah.
that up.
Yeah.
And it's somewhere in the maze, though, Belcher became the first and probably the last accountant for both town of Raynham
In town of Bridgewater.
and town of
yes.
Bridgewater.
Yeah.
And so when you moved over, that was full-time.
Yes, that was full-time.
Raynham was part-time.
Right. Right.
But I said to Belcher one time, you know, there's things you can do part-time and all, but how do you do it, Belcher? You go home at night and then you come after supper and you're an accountant again.
Yeah.
Because he not only was part-time Raynham, full-time Bridgewater, but he also kept the books for the Raynham Center Water District,
yeah,
which he
yeah.
still does.
Yeah, I still do that. Yeah. Yeah.
So you had, how many jobs? I don't know how you do it.
3. I did 3.
Three
yeah,
jobs.
all at once. Yeah. Didn't have much time for the family.
Well, that's
you know,
what I'm
you know, I
saying.
didn't
No,
have
Father of the Year, you lost that out 2 years in a row to me.
Right. yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Water District. So
Yeah.
give us a little bit on all of those now. How did that complex your life?
Well,
That's not the right word, but I'll
Water
stay with it.
District at the time was very simple. It was like once a month or something like that.
Okay.
But now it's grown.
Nothing is simple anymore.
No, now it's grown. The town, I would do like 20 hours a week. And then the town of Bridgewater, I did 40 hours a week. You know.
There's your 60 plus the water
Yeah,
district.
yeah. So, but just a little history. When I first came aboard the town of Raynham, we were in a little hole where the highway department used to be, next to like where the fire department is now and all that. There was a
Yes,
little
I'm
office
trying
there.
to picture it because we
Okay.
had a meeting room,
Yeah.
in what we call the Old Town Hall,
Yeah.
and you were over where the fire department is.
Yes, there was a little room there. And my wife and I did it both.
Okay.
Yeah, and she would, I would do approvals and she would type the warrant and all that business. Then from there, we were kicked out for some reason or other. We didn't have a home, so we went to my
Donnie
house.
Francis
Oh
and
my
I used to yell at
God.
Belcher all the time. That's got to be by certain date. We had no idea what we were talking about, but we figured Belcher did. And Belcher would say, don't
Yeah,
worry about
right,
it.
it'll be good done.
He's always
yeah.
telling us. Belcher, that was like a tape. You could play that to
Right,
Donnie Francis.
right,
and I.
yeah.
Don't
Then-
you worry about it.
So
Donnie.
you
Then we-
actually walked out of your home for
Then we
a-
worked out of my house.
Yeah.
We hired I hired Marie Smith's daughter, Yvonne,
Okay.
and she worked in the cellar of my house.
Oh my God.
Now,
For-
is this the house you're in now?
The house
oh,
I'm
that's
in now.
a beautiful
yeah,
home, though.
Yeah.
That was an upgrade to the
Yes,
town hall.
right, yes. And then we went there for a long time, and there was an outcry somewhere that the town's book should be in the town hall.
Yeah, because they don't like things
Right.
leaving the town hall.
Right. So we went from my house to, we shared the treasurer's office.
Oh.
We had a desk in the treasurer's
Bob Smith.
office with Bob Smith.
Right.
Yeah. And then
Working for him at the time. Was Marie working for him at the time? Because she was his clerk for a while.
Yeah, Marie's-
And then Linda.
yeah, Marie was there for a long time.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
So
People
we
don't
shared-
know that. Marie
yeah.
Smith was the assistant to Bob Smith.
Yeah. Then we went from there to an office. Then after that, I hired Joan Goma, who was with me for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And we had a little office. No, we went from there to a trailer out back.
Oh.
There was a trailer out
okay.
back.
And there wasn't enough room.
Yeah,
that time.
right. Yeah.
They bumped him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We never had a home.
He,
you know.
every time he sat down, said, "Don't get comfortable."
Yeah, right,
And he'd get up
right.
and he'd go.
Yeah. Then from there, we finally got an office in the town hall after the town hall was renovated a little
At the
bit.
new,
and everything. Yeah.
new town hall.
And
wow.
so that was the last place I was
Okay.
in there.
You didn't get to the new town hall.
I didn't
It
get
was
to
very
the
nice
town
office.
hall. Yes, it is.
Been
Yeah,
there?
right. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
So-
what year then did you leave Belcher?
I left the town of Raynham probably 2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of current.
I was for 27 years. I think it was
27
27 years. Yeah.
Should we have a
Now,
dinner?
did
Yeah,
regulations and so forth get a lot more complicated?
Oh
during
yes,
this time?
yes, yeah. That's the thing,
Yeah.
and more reporting, and more demanding, and from for me, they went to a full-time town accountant. We had a big search committee, remember?
Sure.
We had a search committee. I was on the search committee for a full-time town accountant. It took us a long, we interviewed a lot of people, and we finally found a girl. I don't know where she was at the time, but she came, and she was familiar with the software that we had at the time. Data National was called, and she was the full-time town accountant for a long time.
Yeah.
Then she left. Then I guess they hired a couple others.
From that time on, it got a little muddied.
Yes, yeah.
so
No
to
one stayed for like.
And now it's back to part-time.
Yes, yes. And I can't
Which
understand
is
it.
being debated. We're debating that.
Yes.
I'm not debating it anymore, but
Right.
it is being debated in the town. You can't understand that, right, Pat? How do you, you can't understand
I can not
Full-time
today.
go to part-time,
Not
and
today.
that is such an important
Right,
position. I mean,
right,
you
yep.
have to make sure your books are
Yeah, it's
in
not.
order.
I don't understand how it can be done today.
Well, one of the things they did was they brought a guy on that's kind of like a troubleshooter, and he'd come in for 2 or 3 days and do nothing but the books. And he has, however, and this is where it's a little different, you had a clerk, if you will. He has an accountant as his assistant, and she does much of the work, therefore, so between the two. But to be honest with you, people out there keep a secret, it's not quite right.
right.
Because the things that happened there with sewer
Right,
department, things
right.
like this, things begin to happen. No disrespect to anybody,
No,
just didn't have the hours.
no, no.
So he did the work, which he does the work. We're talking about a guy that's still sitting there. And he does the work, but he doesn't have that little time that accountant needs to walk down the hall, take a look
Have-
at what's going
right,
on.
have a conversation.
Talk to the treasurer. He
Right.
doesn't have that time. He just and he does it correctly. But I guess we're lobbying today. This is
Yeah.
good for the show.
Right.
We're lobbying for a full-time
Right.
accountant.
I don't think you can live without it. In my opinion, I don't think you can live without it, really, and not in today's age, really.
The problem that we run into is the problem that you brought out tonight, or this afternoon, if it be, the fact that no one in colleges teaches
That's
evidently
right.
municipal government.
No.
Accounting.
I was always an advocate of someone,
Yeah.
like in Bristol Community College
Yeah.
or Massasoit Community College, offering courses in municipal accounting, you know.
And you had an assistant that got almost, you could almost talk
Right,
the language
right.
to each other. But then that's what they have. They had people who weren't trained accountants, but who were clerks in an office coming in as the full-time accountant. With all due respect to
Right.
those people that replaced you, it didn't work, and
No.
it hasn't worked. So they went to this guy, he's brilliant, and he's a troubleshooter,
Mm-hmm.
and he gives you 2 to 3 days, then he's off somewhere else.
Doing
he
the
works
same
a full
thing,
week,
right, yeah.
But he doesn't, by virtue of the fact that he's so busy doing the day, he doesn't have that time that you might have to walk down that.
Right.
Take a look
and
and say,
you don't
"Well,
develop the friendship either.
That's
you
the
know,
problem.
That's the thing, you know.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
that-
you
We've got
develop
plenty
a
of
fr-
friends over in the school.
You develop a friendship,
Well,
and you
we
can
had-
depend on those
right.
people.
That's right,
Yeah.
and that's what's
Yeah,
missing.
right.
So here we're solving a problem.
Sure, well,
They'll,
you know,
they'll be so glad we brought this up.
one
You're
of the
welcome.
things, the town has grown, obviously,
Oh, yes.
and plus the fact, as you said, the regulations have become so much more,
Right.
complicated and so
Right.
forth.
And it's beyond, with all due respect to clerk, it calls for an
sure.
accountant who's skilled
Definitely,
and
yes.
trained in it. And you learn by the seat of your pants.
That's right, yeah.
Now, how long were you the accountant for Bridgewater?
I started there in 1985, and I left 2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was full-time,
That
you
was
said,
full-time,
even
yes.
then, at
Yeah,
that point.
yeah. As during my time at the town of Bridgewater, they were able to send me to classes and even learn still. And as a result of that, I became a certified municipal governmental accountant. You know,
Okay.
and
See, you could do that now, couldn't you?
Yeah.
If you chose, if you
Yeah,
had the time,
right,
which you're
right,
still
yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you had the time, you
Oh,
could
yes.
train as a municipal accountant.
Yes, yes.
Because that's a lost art.
Yep. Oh, it is. It is. Not many people know it anymore.
And the thing about Bridgewater, people think I don't like that. There are those who think I don't like Bridgewater. I'll tell you what I do like. I like the people in Bridgewater. And I like it as a municipality. I think they're well run. It's as partner that I draw the line.
Right.
And I've come to a conclusion. I'm going to use the word core. Core communities don't make good partners. Now, what's a core community? It's a community that's so unto itself that it just can't go into partnerships. Now, I believe any city is that way. Boston, you couldn't
Yes.
go there.
Oh, no.
Brockton, Taunton,
Right.
New Bedford, Fall River, all of these, and Bridgewater, people, some still think that Brockton, Bridgewater is part of Brockton. Bridgewater was the core community. West Bridgewater, East Bridgewater, and Brockton were all suburbs like East Taunton.
Sure, that's right.
Yeah. So that's where I draw the line on them, and that's where we have the differences in the partnerships. But you never got involved, though, or did you? Let me pick your brain on this one. For the school. The school has their own accountant?
When I first came there, we
K to
had
eight.
the school, K to 8.
K to
yeah.
8.
Even in Raynham, we had K
That's
to
right.
8. Yes.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, and then after that, they
When we fully regionalized in
right,
1994.
And what a load of bills that used to be. Oh my God.
The K to 8.
K to
Well, that was
8,
a full-time job.
Yes, yes.
Because you have a full-time accountant now.
Yeah, well, yes, a treasurer even. We had part-time treasurer, but just
Yeah.
recently made it full-time because it's
So much
you know,
work
it's-
to it.
Right, and you figure the school district budget is like 64 million,
Sure,
which
sure,
is,
right.
Is
you
that
know,
the budget?
it is. Compare that to the town of Raynham.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
It was more than we people.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's,
thank goodness for the new apartment houses. You're glad to see them.
well, you're
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway.
But anyway, 64. I got to remember that number. See, I'll do that by association. Babe
Right.
Ruth got how many? 64 plus 64.
I can't believe, on another subject, I can't believe that apartment complex above me by the NIP. I just was,
Raynham or Bridgewater?
Bridgewater, yes.
They're going to have a
Huge.
hotel there.
Hotel there, yes. But I was so surprised, Don, that after it was built, it was occupied so fast. I couldn't believe when I went by the parking
I
lot and saw
agree
so
with
many
you.
cars.
I cannot see anything. I go up 138 to get to Stoughton for my pizza. And I see off 138, I see these apartments, boom, in Easton.
Yes.
Huge. Rented out
yeah,
100%.
yeah, I can't
You
believe
say,
it. Yeah.
where were these people before? I can feel people going.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, I
It's
can't
probably
believe it.
fully occupied.
Yes, yes.
And so are we in the Raynham.
Yeah. One morning I was behind the school bus. The school bus was stopped there.
Oh, man, he's gonna
And
tell
I
on
could
you.
not believe the number of children coming out of there. You know?
Because when they went before the planning board, we have very few children.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They always tell you very few children.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's just aside from.
No, but that's true. This is what she's thinking, because as chairman, what happened to the school committee is that students came in, which God bless them, but they came in and their budget was already arrived
Set.
at.
Yeah, sure. Mhm.
And now,
If they come in after October 1st, then you get no state reimbursement
yeah,
that year for those
right.
extra students that you have
and
to provide
that's,
for.
and that's cruel. Because then you've got to hire new teachers to
Sure.
educate them. You're done.
Sure.
You don't get a vote on
The
it.
city that they're coming from or the town they come
They
from
get,
get
still
their
get
money.
that money.
Yes,
I know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's
yeah,
something
yeah.
we need to
Yeah,
do something about.
yeah.
So next year, that's another story.
But Belcher, is that would you say a good career for people to go into nowadays?
I would
accounting?
say nowadays is excellent. The
If
only-
they get the right training.
If they get
though.
the right training, because if they don't get the right training, they go into the job, they mess everything up, and their reputation is ruined.
Yeah.
No other town wants them.
Right.
You know, that's the problem. You know, we get rid of them.
We got to be careful what we say, because
Yeah, yeah.
you know, we did have some problems in the accounting
yeah,
office.
Yeah,
And with all due respect, not just the counting, but the treasurer and the handling of monies.
Yes.
Both of those positions need to know how to handle
Oh,
money.
sure. Yeah.
But as you said, municipal is a whole different situation than
yes.
if you're coming from business or something
Yeah. It's
else.
back sort
Yeah,
of like
Dwayne
back
Wheeler
end
was
too.
one. You had a drain, and John Cochran. You may not remember John,
I
but
remember
John
him.
was an inspector of banks. He was on a show with
Oh,
me.
I think I remember him.
Yeah,
now,
he's
yes.
inspector of banks.
yeah.
And he went to, I mean, the biggest banks in the country. John would go
yeah.
in. and inspect them.
Yeah.
And when he came in, he said, Donald, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's brilliant, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still,
Yeah.
if you're out there watching, John. you're
That
really-
was one of my career choices when I was younger. When I was working at the bank, I wanted to become a bank examiner because
That's
I
what-
liked the
and that's-
thought of traveling. You
That's
know.
what he did.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
traveled.
yeah. But then things turned, and I was in line for the president's job of the bank. I was. You know?
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, I'm not going to move."
No, I don't blame you
so,
for that.
Yeah, yeah, so,
And then the bank had
and-
taken over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What is it today? Eastern Bank? Or
No, it's not even.
no, but I
went-
meant they changed the name.
They went to New Bedford Institution for Savings, and then they went to something else, and I don't know where, it just
And then
lost.
They lost them
Yeah,
in the shuffle.
yeah,
That happened with several banks that
Yeah.
changed names, like you
Yeah.
said, merged.
Oh,
yeah. It was on
yes.
Court Street. It's where Tallman Insurance is now.
Okay, was
that
that
was Taunton Savings Bank, yes.
Oh, I go there, Tom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a beautiful building.
Yes, we did that.
You were there.
Yes, yep.
I go there. That's. I'm going to use the word stately.
Yes, yes, it is. It really
I go
is.
into that now. They've kind of makeshifted because it's an insurance
Sure,
agency
yeah.
now. But I can just imagine what it used to
Oh,
be.
it used to have marble
Yes.
and grates and all. It was
And
just,
ample parking.
Yes, yeah.
Ample parking. It's still there.
Yeah. No, they didn't have parking.
Oh, they didn't have
because the police station was right next door.
Wow.
Police station used to be right next door, and so there were hardly any parking. But and they all it used to we used to
They
be
had
over.
this cover thing you could go under, like.
Yeah, but didn't
No,
then
didn't
because
have
the
it
police
then.
station was right
Yeah.
next door to the bank.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it ended up back over on, what's the street there, right next to the library?
Pleasant Street. I think.
Pleasant Street.
Yeah,
It ended up on Pleasant Street,
Yeah,
I believe, and it
yeah.
was makeshift
yeah,
at the time.
yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of Taunton history.
See that, yes.
Yeah, we know Taunton.
I know. Mhm.
Pat and I are versatile. We know that.
But Belcher, what would you say it takes to be a good accountant? What you obviously need to be really good with numbers.
You have to be good with numbers. You have to be very patient, very thorough, and if you're not either one of those, you might as well just throw it out the window because if something's wrong, you have to search for it and search for
Right.
it. I mean, I was trained at the bank. You have to balance to the penny. You know.
Yeah.
I'll never forget one time. Just as another story about the bank. I hate to keep it. When I first became a teller, I was out. My drawer was out $10. Couldn't find it.
Even.
Even $10 even.
That sounds like a $10 bill.
And finally, I found out where I made
I'd put in the 10. So I
where
get
I
home.
made the error and who it was.
Yeah.
They sent me out to collect that $10.
Wow.
Yep.
You get in your car and you had to
Got
go
my-
out to the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And get the $10.
Yeah.
So you have to be a little bit of investigator too.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Wow,
yeah,
isn't
yeah.
that something?
Yeah.
I didn't realize they'd do that.
Yeah.
I had a guy
That was
short
years
me
ago.
in a combat zone in Boston one time, and I didn't go after him for the money, thank you very much, because I'm still here. But he shorted me, and it came out of my pay, though.
Yeah, sure.
And those were the days
Yeah,
when
those
if
are-
you
oh,
were
yeah,
short, you had to
that's
make
right.
up the difference, and I did.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So
Very good.
anyway, this is interesting because, you know, there are about 5 people in town who really know. We used to say, well, the bodies are buried. We don't say that anymore. But really know what's going on. And I was so glad that Belcher agreed to come on because you know them when.
Yes,
You know?
yes,
And
yeah.
you knew the other town when.
That's right,
And
yeah.
Bridgewater is a very interesting town.
One thing with Bridgewater, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, they respected the office of the town accountant. When the town accountant said it was this way,
Yeah.
it was this way. There was no question.
Yeah.
That was it. You know?
I'm telling you, I've known 2 or 3 of those people over there.
Yeah.
The town clerk, Mr. Adams, I believe.
Ronnie Adams,
Ronnie
yeah.
Adams, unfortunately passed away
Right.
2 years ago.
But he
Great
held that
guy.
position for many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
Over
Yes,
25
yes,
years,
yes,
maybe
yeah.
longer. He was probably there when you came in.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was, because I remember he was a campaign manager for
yeah.
one of my opponents. In
Yeah.
Newton. So I remember Ron Adams.
Yeah.
But he was a good guy.
Yes, he was. He was dedicated
And,
to the
and his
town.
wife married an accountant also. So it's a small world
Yes,
out there.
it
Belcher,
is.
thank you very much
Yes.
for coming
Yeah,
on.
we are just
Pat,
about out of time, but thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
coming. Belcher Stanley, our guest today. And Dawn, we will be back on our next episode of The Good Old Days, and hopefully everyone out there will join us.
They all love this show, Pat.
We'll see you all on the next episode of The Good Old Days.
Thank you. Thank you, Belcher.
You're welcome. Just on a little side, when I worked at